Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, 14 and under with a parent's permission, gather round as we are here to talk about Halo Episode 4. In this episode, Quan and Soren finally make it to Madrigal. Yay! Just to find that Quan's father has no supporters left. They're all terrified of Venture and won't stand up against him. She tries several different people, nobody's willing to help. She even tries her aunt, who winds up dying, trying to protect her from an assassination attempt. Soren shows up, and they go into this pretty good action sequence. It's the only one in the episode of him trying to get her out of the city, which he does successfully, and now they're just trying to get off the planet. And that's really all the story development for that arc. But if you're like me, you probably don't care too much about Quan's story. For me, it's just difficult to really find the relevance, you know? Halo's always been this galactic struggle between the Covenant and humanity, so this little rebel planet, kind of meaningless in the grand scheme of things. But I think all the pieces are coming together this episode. It's given me a theory. I think what's going to happen is Soren and Quan are going to bond. You already saw in this episode, Soren was opening up to her. He told her about how he killed his father. Well, not how, but just the detail that he killed his father. So I think they're going to create this bond, and then when Mackie and her Covenant cohorts show up on Madrigal, they're going to kill Quan. After Soren sees this, he is then going to join the Master Chief in his struggle to destroy the Covenant. We see a clear breakdown in trust between John and Halsey this episode. They make it back to his childhood planet, and he starts reliving all of these memories. And he realizes that what he was told about how him and Halsey met might not be true. She tries to cover it up by telling him that when he's reliving memories, not everything might be true, but he doesn't trust her anymore. He thought they didn't meet until he was in an orphanage after his parents' demise. But he has memories of him and Halsey talking in his childhood home, indicating that they met long before he went to the orphanage. Now in this scene where they're talking, John's flipping a coin, and he calls the correct side 11 times in a row, and Halsey says that he's very lucky. Now this goes back to the Halo 3 intro, where Cortana's telling John that she was able to pick him as her Spartan. She says that he had something that nobody else could see, only her, and that it was luck. So that's pretty cool that they're referencing the game like that. I like that a lot. Along with these memories of him and Halsey when he was a kid, he also remembers where the artifact's hidden on his planet. So they go and they find it. But because he doesn't know if he can trust Halsey anymore, he's very cold about it. He only says a few things. He hops in the Warthog and is just kind of waiting for her to get in. They go. There's no dialogue or anything. And to me, this is the first look at the Master Chief as we know him, because he was very cold. Didn't say a whole lot. He's got things to do and he's going to do them. He doesn't care about having a conversation about it. And I really like that we're getting a glimpse of the Master Chief that we know from the games. We also get to see a large development in Kai's story this episode. After watching John remove his implant last episode, she follows suit and removes her implant. And you see her start to tear up a little bit and cry right after she does it. Miranda Keys ends up needing all of the Spartans for an experiment to see how the artifact reacts to other Spartans other than John. And during this, you can see there's clearly a difference in the way that she's behaving compared to the other members of Silver Team. She's already dyed her hair pink by this point. She's got a very, I'm going to do what I want mentality now. She starts a conversation with Miranda Keys, and her tone and her demeanor is almost intimidating. It's very confrontational. Nothing like the other Spartans at all. But it's because of this demeanor that Miranda Keys learns some of the Spartans know Sangheili words. And they end up discovering that the Covenant is after something called the Halo. So that was awesome. But when they finally mention Halo, you hear the traditional Halo theme song, which I've been missing from this TV series the entire time. So I am so happy you get to hear it. It's faint, but you can hear it in the background.
Halo.
Now after they make this discovery, Miranda asks Kai to keep this a secret from Halsey. So that is a lot of rebellion in one episode. And I think what's going to happen, again, just my theory, I don't know. I think what's going to happen though, is when the fallout happens between Halsey and John that Kai is going to defect from Silver Team and join Master Chief also. So I think you're going to end up having John, Soren, and Kai going up against the remaining Silver Team and also the Covenant at the same time. I think it's going to be kind of a weird, not a love triangle, but a combat triangle going on throughout the whole series. So now we have 3 Spartans that are implantless. We know we're going after something called a halo. Pretty sure that it's a weapon. Everything's coming together real nice like. But if you don't want the Covenant to win, make sure you go down there and hit that like button. Subscribe while you're down there, maybe ring that notification bell. Really helps me out a lot. So if you're enjoying Halo and my reviews, make sure you check back next week because I think episode 5 is going to be a huge episode in the series. See you there.